Welcome back to another episode of the Kings related podcast, wherever you may be on this Wednesday evening, and this recap of the Sacramento Kings 123-117 comeback win over the Northern California rivals, the Golden State Warriors. And you want to start off with the good news or the bad news first? I think we'll save the good news for here coming up later. The bad news is the Sacramento Kings, they did not start this game off well at all. The Golden State Warriors in this first half were 14 of 26 from the three-point line. It was Buddy Hield for Golden State. It was Andrew Wiggins. It was Moses Moody who got it going in that first half. You got Santos, who was looking like Klay Thompson from three in this game. And the Kings were down in this game early because Golden State, they won the first quarter by 4 at 24-20. And then in that second quarter, Buddy Hield hit a buzzer beater 3 to end that first half, and Golden State put 41 on the board in that second quarter. The Kings 28 points in that second quarter, and the Kings were down at the half 48 to 65. It was like a complete opposite of the first game between these two teams in San Francisco. I think it was the end of last month. But the Sacramento Kings, they kept playing. They fell behind as much as 18, I believe. But they didn't give in. They didn't give up. They kept fighting, and they rallied for the 7th straight home win, taking down the Golden State Warriors. And they did it on the backs of their defense in that second half, especially that third quarter. All game long, the Sacramento Kings, especially Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray, were harassing Stephen Curry all night long. And just looking here at the box score, Steph Curry, in 33 minutes of action, Steph Curry, the greatest shooter we have ever seen in the NBA, 14 points. He was 1 of 4 from 3, 6 and 11 from the field. And a lot of that had to do with Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray and their defense, the pressure all night long that they put on Steph Curry. Just absolutely incredible. And it should just start there in the third quarter. Started in this first half. They were doubling Steph. They were blitzing him, trying to get the ball out of his hands. I thought they did a really good job on Steph Curry all game long. So, and it was that third quarter as well, with the offense stuck in the mud for most of that first half. DeMar DeRozan absolutely went cooking in that third. The president of the MIDI committee was on points, and he found ways to get to the free throw line. And DeMar DeRozan finished with 19 of his game high 32 points in the 12 minutes coming out of halftime. So, and then the rest of the team, even though it was a off night for De'Aaron Fox, see where De'Aaron Fox in 36 minutes of action, 14 points, but De'Aaron Fox, he was 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Absolutely incredible for De'Aaron Fox. He also had 5 assists, 5 rebounds, but clutch from the free throw line. The Kings are second in the NBA as a team in free throw percentage. The Golden State Warriors last in free throw percentage this season. So it's almost like a complete opposite of last season, where the Kings last season did not shoot the ball well from the free throw line. And I think a lot of that, one of the main reasons why they didn't make the playoffs last season. But De'Aaron Fox absolutely clutch from the free throw line, and also hit a couple of big buckets in that fourth quarter. And with the Kings picking up the defensive intensity on that side of the floor, the Golden State Warriors had some really bad turnovers in this game. They had 19 turnovers overall in this game, and a lot of it had to do with the Kings picking up their defensive intensity there in that second half. And in that third quarter, how the Golden State Warriors made 14 threes in that first half. They were 1 of 10 from 3 in the third quarter. Just absolutely incredible. And overall, they made 22 threes in this game. Kings just 11 of 30 from 3 in this game. Also, the Kings also did a much better job in the second half. I thought they picked up the pace in that second half. 28 fast break points for the Kings. Golden State, 0 fast break points for the Golden State Warriors in this game. So, and then the Kings. Speaking of Steph Curry, Steph Curry just absolutely an off night for the Golden State Warriors, and a lot of that, as I mentioned, Keon Ellis, Keegan Murray, absolutely, and Keegan Murray had a block on Steph Curry. Steph Curry driving to the bucket, blocked by Keegan Murray. Keegan had 2 blocks in this game, 13 points. So absolutely incredible. DeRozan, as I mentioned, 32 points in this game, and the only guys that really scored in this game off the bench, like Doug Christie, did not play a lot of his bench tonight. Mostly it was Keon Ellis, who played 21 minutes. Trey Lyles played 16. You're gonna need your bench tomorrow night as you play the Denver Nuggets. So, and you look at the starters. Every starter in this game played over 30 minutes, close to 40 minutes in this game. So, and Malik Monk, 9 assists in this game, 4 rebounds, 20 points. Both um, Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox, I thought both off nights offensively in this game, but both were clutch from the free throw line when they needed to get to the bucket, get to the line. They did that. Malik Monk 4-4 from the free throw line. So DeMar DeRozan 5 of 6 from the free throw line. But Kings taking care of business against a Golden State team that lost by 40 points on their home floor against the Boston Celtics a couple nights ago. And the Kings, what they needed to do to start this game, they needed to keep Golden State down. And they gave Golden State life in that first half. And it showed it on the scoreboard. But I don't know what was said in the locker room at halftime. But that Kings team that we saw in the second half is the Kings team that we've seen since the coaching change. Just absolutely incredible. And we talk about Golden State turning over the ball, and they had some really bad turnovers. The Kings took care of the ball tonight. Just 8 turnovers by Sacramento tonight. So really good job taking care of the ball. But you gave Golden State life to start the game. You just can't do that. This Golden State team, I've said it before, it's not a good Warriors team. I truly believe Golden State needs to start the rebuild here at the deadline. The run is over. So, what the Kings should have done to start the game is put them down. Like, coming in, losing by 40 on their home floor, they should have kicked them while they were down. But you gave them life, and thank God for that second half. And the Kings played much better defense in that second half. The offense, really good. And just the defense all night long on Stephen Curry by Keon and Keegan Murray. Absolutely incredible. The Kings are now 3 games over 500. They are 23-20. And if you look at the standings, the Kings now have that first play-in spot in the Western Conference. They are sitting at 7th in the West. And to get this win with you getting on a plane tonight, going to Denver, the toughest back-to-back in the NBA, because that Denver airport's out in the middle of nowhere. Then you got a bus to your hotel. You're not getting to sleep until early in the morning, and then you got the elevation, and it really takes a while to really get into the game when you play in Denver, especially in the second half of back-to-back. So the Kings needed this win. You got it before you start this 6-game road trip that starts tomorrow against the Nuggets. You're going up against Jokic, 3-time MVP. He's looking for his 4th. Jamal Murray, who's looking like Jamal Murray of himself. Aaron Gordon. Um, a Nuggets team that's playing some really good ball right now. They are fourth in the Western Conference. They have won three straight. They are 13-8 at home. Because they really use that altitude to their advantage. The one thing that I think is a weakness on the Nuggets is the bench. So if the Nuggets at this deadline, if they can improve that bench, I would put them up there as the second best team in the West behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then after Denver, you play the New York Knicks on Saturday in New York. A Knicks team that's third in the Eastern Conference. And then you got Jalen Brunson, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got Mikal Bridges, you got just a really good Knicks team. They've been up and down here lately, but it's still a really good Knicks team. You're gonna get everything. Then next Monday, you stay in New York. You got the Brooklyn Nets next Monday, a Nets team that beat you here in Sacramento earlier in the season. So you're looking to revenge that loss to the Nets. And then next Wednesday, a week from tonight, you're in Philadelphia taking on a Sixers team that's on the outside of the play-in right now, who's lost, 7 games in a row. They're 15-27. And Joel Embiid hasn't even played 20 games this year. He doesn't play back-to-backs. Paul George has missed time. The rookie, Jared McCain, out for the season. It's a Philadelphia team that's a mess. And it's also a Philadelphia team that you beat, that you came back from 15 down and you beat the Sixers here in Sacramento. So, and then you go on a week from Saturday, you play the Oklahoma City Thunder. In my opinion, the best team in the league. Not an easy game. In my opinion, I think SGA is the MVP right now in the NBA. In my honest opinion, not going to be an easy game. And then you close the trip a week from Monday in Minnesota. A Minnesota team that's been up and down, to say the least. They're right behind you in the play-in. The last game of a road trip is always the tough one, because you're looking to get back home to your families and your own bed. So always the last game of a trip is the tough one. So it's a 6-game road trip. Give me 3 wins on this trip. If the Kings can come back home 3-3 on this trip, I like that. I think that would be a good road trip if the Kings can come back 3-3 from that road trip. So the Kings, they defeat the Golden State Warriors 123-117, coming back from 18 down to beat Golden State. Just a look around the NBA at the other games. And now that the Kings are in 7th, all thanks to the Mavericks losing by 1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves in that game in Dallas. You got the Detroit Pistons, the surprising Detroit Pistons playing some really good ball, They beat Atlanta in Atlanta. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder, absolutely incredible. They beat the Utah Jazz and SGA. Speaking of SGA, 54 points in this game. Just absolutely incredible what SGA is doing, what the Thunder are doing overall. You got the Houston Rockets beating the Cavs by 1 in their game. The Celtics in overtime beat the Clippers. You got the Grizzlies beating the Charlotte Hornets in Grindhouse. They're in Memphis, Tennessee. And then you got the Phoenix Suns blowing out the Brooklyn Nets 108-84. They're in Brooklyn. But Kings, 3 games over 500, 23-20, as they are now 2-0 this season against the Golden State Warriors. Just absolutely incredible in the second half with the defense in this game. And the story of this game for the Kings, it is the difference in the 3-point shooting, where the 14 threes in that first half, 1 of 10 in the third quarter. Third quarter, picking up the defensive intensity and the dominant play of Sabonis and DeRozan, making up for another quiet night offensively for De'Aaron Fox. And that would do it here for this episode of the Kings related podcast and the Kings win. We'll be back for another recap following the Kings and Nuggets game tomorrow night. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below. And if you're listening on your preferred audio platform, Apple, Spotify, or whatever, iHeartRadio, or whatever platform you're listening on, please hit that follow button. Rate 5 stars, leave a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. Be much appreciated, and we'll catch you tomorrow night following Kings and Nuggets. Go Kings and light the beam.